For those of you that don't know, I am a bioptic driver. I was born legally blind, and I have a eye condition. It's called blue cone monochromacy. So I have issues with color blindness and actual vision issues. And so a bioptic telescope or bioptic driver, they have to wear a pair of glasses that has a telescope on them. Most of the time they have to be prescription, but in my case I see better with contacts, so mine are non-prescription with a telescope on top. And then this is what they look like. They have a little scope on top, and you just wear them, and you tilt your head down to look through the scope when you want to see whatever you're trying to see. The rule of thumb is you use it about 1 to 2% of the time while you're driving. The other percent of the time you're using your normal vision, not using the scope. In my case, because of my color blindness, I have to have a red tint for during the day, so it helps me see traffic lights. And then I just got approved to do night driving in the fall, so I had to get a new pair that doesn't have any tint on them. And in the fall, when the time changes, I'll be able to do 10 hours of in-car with a driving instructor, and I'll be able to do night driving again. I would then, once I do the 10 hours, I have to go down to Chagrin Falls in Ohio and do a driver's test with State Highway Patrol, and then if they clear me, I can get my license for nighttime. If you guys want me to do a live video one day and talk more about it, and you guys can ask me a bunch of questions, just let me know in the comments and I will try and do it as soon as possible. One thing I've learned as a bioptic driver is you've got to be patient. If you're trying to rush through everything, you're going to have issues. Through Ohio, one thing you are required to do is you're required to go to some kind of facility. Mine being Ohio State is who got me in contact with the people I needed to be in contact with to get the bioptic, or to even attempt to try and do it. So I went through the process through Ohio State University, and the state called me. They got me into contact with the people that do the training for the bioptic and that offer it. And after that, it was just a bunch of spaced out time of trying to get to the place in Akron where they do the driving, or where they do the bioptics. And then once you get them, you wait a period of time, and then you can do your 30 in-car hours. And then once you do that, you have the road test with the State Highway Patrol. Most of the time there's two police officers, and then you could have a trainee in the car with you as well. So on bright sunny days like today, I have to wear a specific filter to make it so I can see a little better, because I do have photophobia, which makes it so the sunlight is very bright to me in my eye condition. So I have to figure out what kind of filter I need to drive and that whatnot. And this is the one that I figured out works for me. My telescope goes on the inside of it, and it just mounts to it. And then obviously it makes it way darker than if I didn't have it. And then that's on top of having the red tinted glasses as well. Or I could also use this style filter, and this is just called a slip-in filter, because it just goes right behind the glasses, just like so. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I use my bioptic telescope while I drive. It's going to be short and sweet, but that's all it needs to be. So when I'm driving, if I see a traffic sign or something, I dip my head down so I can look through the scope. I tilt or dip my head and point my eye up, and I look through this thing on the back of my driving glasses, and it looks through this end. I know it's hard for you guys to see because I'm driving, but it's the best I can do. So yeah, that's the main thing, is you just dip into that when you're trying to see something. You can dip into it as many times as you want, but you want to spend no longer than 2 seconds in the dip. So that's the main thing. You don't want to spend a lot of time looking down, because that time you're looking through the scope is time where a car can get you from the side, or somebody can walk out and you're not paying attention. So you really got to be careful with it. So that's why they give you 1 to 2 seconds. You can dip as many times as you want, you just can't stay in it too long. And I'm so used to it now, it's just second nature. And I drive in places I'm comfortable with, so I learn the speed limit and I learn where the signs are, and I really don't have to use it very often. But like if there's a pedestrian walking, I'll pop down into it, pop back out, see how far they are from me, and do what I need to move over or anything like that. And then the same goes for traffic signals. Once you get to that point where you know you're close enough to see it through the scope, but still far enough to obviously react, you then dip into the scope, check the light, dip again if you didn't see it that first time, and you get a little bit closer, and then you react. So it's really not too difficult. And then the same comes with brake lights. And then by construction, you could use it for dipping down to see how the construction's going, or where you got to get over if you can't see the signs from where you're at when you first notice it. Yeah, it's not too difficult. You get the hang of it once you do it. A lot of people are like, well, I could never do that. Well, I thought that too, but if you want to be able to drive, you'll do whatever it takes. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching my video.